All right. So where are we going? What are we
Okay,
doing next?
so um, I mean, some of the things like so you do this, and I'm just going to show it,
Yeah,
right?
go for it.
This is over here is the business model, and over here is the value proposition and the client profiles, and they come up with what they believe, and this is what we all do, right? We believe this is
Yep.
what the customers want. This is believe what we provide. This is how we think we're going to make money through our business model,
Oh,
and
that reminds me. That's what I was going to say something, but go ahead.
they'll fire away if you can remember.
Yeah. So you were talking about getting testing this and constantly testing this and going through it. My big thing that I was going to sit and say is like, what page is that on, by the way?
The testing.
Yeah,
We're on page 200.
200.
Um,
Okay. So what I was
so
going to sit and tell everybody is like, this is why your business should be on social media
yes,
because you will get feedback so flippin' fast about whether or not your idea is a good one. Um, and in some ways, you're not going to get you're going to get feedback on it of people sitting there saying, "Oh, I like this. I think this is great," or "Ooh, I really need this." But you're like you're
you
going
will
to get
get a
a
lot of that, and you'll get a lot of fanboys
yes,
that say, "I love this idea. I would pay for it." Right, and then you
yeah,
go, "Okay, give me your email, or
yep,
we're taking deposits,
yes,
$100 down to $1, right?
yes, yep,
And we're going
yep,
to distribute this over the next 6 months, and
yep.
whoever has the biggest deposit is going to get it first."
And what's really cool with that too is you actually may have a really good idea or a good product, but by going onto social media, you're going to figure out very fast how to market that product and
Yeah.
how to appeal to people well. So,
Mm, I like that. I like that. Oh, actually, something that I kind of advocate and I kind of don't. So we'll talk about my businesses, and I'm actually going to open up some of my weaknesses here, right?
yay.
As a leader, um, this is hard to do, right? So
Yes.
a lot of times clients come to me and say, "Hey, Phil, is this a good idea or not?" And because it's a big investment, right?
It
This is
is.
normally, and anytime somebody does a project with me, it's if it's your first project, it's your nest egg in general, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And for me, that's a huge stress. But also it's part of my job, right? So, here's what I do. I be completely honest with what I think. I give a process, and I don't take the risk over for you, but I share all my experience with you,
Yes.
and hopefully that matters, right? Because I've probably done a lot more entrepreneurship than anybody who has hired me, right?
Yeah.
For
Yep.
sure,
Yep.
right? If you've done more entrepreneurship than I have, you're not hiring me. You're partnering with Elon,
Very true.
right?
100% true.
Which is God bless you, and please partner with me because I would love to, right?
I want to be Elon.
Right, right. Yeah, no, no.
No,
I just want to
no.
be one of the guys at the feet that work with Elon, right? That's
Yeah.
cool. Right. I don't need to
Well,
be up there. My wife is like, you're too aggressive. You want to be like Elon. I'm like, dear, no, I like to see my kids
yeah,
at least twice a day.
he's got anyway, we could go on and on
We'll
about
we'll have fun
his
about
life
Elon. I like
at
him. I
some
hate him.
point.
I think he's a douche. I think he's a great guy. He's a
I
hero. He's a loser.
I think he's just I
He's
think
not
he's just
Jesus. I hate him.
let me put it this way. I think he's just a normal guy who knows how to make a lot of money.
I think he's a really guy that had some experiences and has compensated in this way.
That's kind of what I said.
See, I say it nice, right?
No, you just go into more detail.
Beautiful.
I'm very
Um,
succinct.
you were so succinct. That's what I was having fun. Another tangent. I put
Oh
some
dear.
of
We're never
our
going to get through this.
yeah, yeah, no, it's okay. Uh, I put some of our chats on Atomic Habits into ChatGPT.
Oh yeah.
I go, summarize it for us, right? The whole thing for Atomic Habits. Show Alan's style, show my style, contrast. It's like, Alan, he's smart, right? He gets to the point, he describes things,
I
right?
seriously doubt
You
that's what it said.
you help explain things in human ways that people can understand, right? So you simplify Alan's stuff and you make it entertaining. But Alan brings your shit back because you're too chaotic and you like to introduce chaos. So You cannot eat without Alan. Like, I'm not, like, trying to make it
I
without my it's just, like, beating on me.
I need proof of this.
I'll
I
send it
need
to you.
I need proof because I do not believe you.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm gonna send it to you. You're gonna laugh. I haven't sent it to you yet because I don't want go that much.
Oh, my ego is like shot through right now. But anyway,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
um,
But, hey,
let's
so flip the
continue.
page to
Okay,
202,
flip the page to 202.
right? And that's not my photo,
Okay,
right?
really?
That's
How did you make it in here?
yeah, I know, right? So this is the guy of love, right?
Yeah,
Now, I'm not gonna show his picture, you have to get the book, but what he does is he saves
yeah,
you
yeah,
from wasting your nest egg,
yeah, absolutely.
right? So what you have to do is ask this question: what assumptions am I making
Hmm.
that will cause my business to fail?
Yep, yep,
Right? So on the previous page, we had all these ideas. This is how we believe we're going to provide value. This is how I think the gains and the pains of the clients, and this is why they're going to love us, and we're amazing, and we're all like smoking pot and super happy, right?
yep, yep,
We go to the next page, and we're like, okay, cool. Before we consider anything, what questions do we have to ask and prove to make sure that we will not go out of business right away? Like, what are the
yep,
big road stoppers,
yep,
right? So then look at your take your business model evaluation, look at your product, look at the customers, right? And then go back to your product and say, what do I have to verify in here
yep.
that if I am wrong about, we will go out of business?
So let's do a really practical example of this. Something that happened with my business recently, which is
Awesome.
really, really good feedback.
Like people like colors,
Yeah. So, okay, Phil can.
organic.
It's not organic.
Okay. But it's handmade
Yeah. Well, the colors are handmade. The
and
yarn, not so
unique.
much. But
They're not
whatever.
purchased like you don't you have like how many colors do you have to start with?
Me?
Yeah, like what's like your base
Ooh.
color palette? Do you have like 4 colors, 5 colors that you mix
Uh
and go with?
oh, that I mix. Oh, it's
Yeah, yeah.
four colors that you mix together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I love this, right? Guys like, okay, I'm not a design guy, right? I'm like a redneck that just loves making amazing stuff, right?
Well, that was a really a
Alan's an
wonderful
artist.
compliment. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right, but even rednecks, right? And even programmers, we like beautiful things, right?
Yeah. Oh,
And it's so
yeah.
hard to take 4 colors and look and no, I do this all the time. Like I take 4 colors and I try to make something, I come up with gray every time,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's hard. Honestly, there's a lot of math involved, which is really cool, which is
right?
what
Which is
gets
why
me
you're a
excited.
scientist, geeky guy.
Anyway, so let's take a step, reel you back in right now.
Okay.
So that's what I do on the side. All right. When I opened up the business and I started the business, I literally threw whatever I could at the wall to figure out what people are going to like, what I could market, what would attract people to it. I tried a bunch of different colors and a bunch of different techniques. Um, I'm still trying different techniques and different colors. Now, the thing that I have learned, hand dyed yarn business is actually a really big community online. You can go on
It's
Instagram
established, it's
and you
big,
can look it up.
right? There's
There's a
ways
lot
to
of
take market
people.
share.
Yep. There's a lot of people who go and create these absolutely beautiful colors, and they create these things like called variegated yarn, which is kind of where you take multiple different colors and you put them all in the same yarn, and they're separated so you see the colors. I've been trying to mimic and do a lot of that stuff lately. It's really hard. I haven't been able to figure it out. Well, I got a compliment from someone not too long ago who said, "You make beautiful solids." And I sat there and I was like, first off,
You found your place in the world.
well, my first reaction was, that kind of hurts because I want to make good variegated yarn. And
I also
then,
want to make nice satellites,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
I'm just a programmer and sometimes I play with like rings and stuff.
I mean, well, sometimes you also program a satellite to do something that you shouldn't.
Shh, that's after. This time I'm reeling you back in. Private conversation.
Sorry, I just watched Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, and that was like one of the key things is that a satellite got reprogrammed. Anyway, so
Everybody does this as part of their graduate program. I know you didn't. You were a nuclear scientist. We're not going to say what you
we're
had to
not
do.
talking about that.
Back to the point.
Boy, you're gonna get me in trouble here.
No, yarn, solid colors. By the way, I love solid colors.
So that I got that compliment for at first. I'm like, oh, that hurts because I really want to be good at this thing. But what I realized from that is actually that's really important because there's a lot of yarn projects out there that do require solid colors.
I
So
thought
it's kind of
everyone
one of those
required
things
solid
where it's
colors.
like if I what was that? I was talking over
I
you.
thought they all required like you take blue and you do pin 1, 2, 3, 7, 18, 45.
Well,
I thought
so
they all required
it
solid colors.
depends. Like it depends on what you want to make. Sometimes it just all depends on what you want to make. Well, I come and I realize that, and it's like, well, wait a second. If I'm getting compliments about how beautiful my solids are, and a lot of people have been commenting about that lately, I'm like, huh. Okay, so here's my question for the audience, and I'll give you a few seconds to respond. Um, should I continue and pursue the variegated yarn that I see all these other creators making that's absolutely beautiful? Or should I continue and focus, like zone in on the solids? Where's the Jeopardy music? We need Jeopardy.
Okay, I'm gonna
Phil,
have
what's
fun
your answer?
because my answer is both. Um,
Ha ha!
no. So yeah,
That
you're an
is the
established
correct
market.
answer.
Yeah, well, maybe, right? You're an established market, and you need to be able to compete. You all have a you're an established market, right? Your goal is to take over market share. What
Mm-hmm.
1%, 100%, who
Mm-hmm.
knows, right? But obviously you'll never get 100% because you have a handcrafted product
Yep.
and you'll never compete with, well, Starbucks, right? Let's just
Absolutely
say
not.
you
Yep.
can't compete with Starbucks,
Yep.
Nittins, right? But you can create amazing products in here. And there should be a certain amount of traditional base in there that
Yep.
gives the clients a consistent purchasing, but
Yep.
you should also have a certain amount of creativity and playfulness in there that shows some artistic creativity, which people love from this handcrafted environment.
Yep.
Right. So that's the special thing about you. So I want you to have both. I want you to have a solid base so that people can keep shopping from you. And I want you to have this creativity, this fun entrepreneurial spirit, which
Yep.
goes out there that discovers new things, that tries new things, but
Yep.
also continues and modifies back to
Yep.
the book, the business model. Right. So it's
Yep.
okay to have multiple business models when
Yep.
you have the a set of resources that allow it.
Yep.
Now,
So
you can have, actually, I'm going to let you continue because
yeah,
I finished.
I'm gonna just completely wrap up everything that you just said in a really nice tight little bow. To continue to pursue the variegated yarn at the expense of the solids is actually going to end up killing my business, at least in the short term. My goals are to make this on to make this a full-time thing, and because that is my goal, and I want to try and get going and go a little bit faster, I need to double down on what I am good at. It's the same thing, well, it's pretty much the same thing as anything out there. When you find out, when you figure out what you are good at, you need to double down on that thing 100%, absolutely, in order to make it any further. However, the I should still continue to experiment with the variegated yarn. It's just not going to be my main thing for the time being until I actually make something that is really good and really nice and people like and love and want to go after. Because and that's when I can start shifting some of my focus from the solids to the variegated. So the variegated should be like a very small portion, small percentage of my business until I get good at it and somebody else comes in. And that's the same thing with any other dyeing technique and everything. I need to double down with what I'm good at until later. I know you've read this because I know the book is behind you. .com secrets. What does Russell Brunson say to do about funnels?
As far as starting from the top and filtering down, or
No, just about like building out funnels and doing funnels. Do you remember? I may not be answering the question right or
yeah,
asking the
yeah,
question
I
right.
think we're missing a key element in there.
Yeah. So
So
Russell Brunson is the father of internet funnels. You've been you as a listener. I guarantee you are the quote unquote victim of a funnel. Um, yeah. Russell
by
Brunson.
victim, mean you got what you asked for.
Yeah. Russell Brunson very specifically says in his book that you do not move from one funnel on, you do not move on from one funnel to another funnel until you've hit what he calls the two comma club with that one funnel. And the two comma club is $1 million. So you need to, basically, what he is sitting there saying is that you need to get very good at doing one thing before you can move on and do something else.
So, what Alan is alluding to is that what a lot of us entrepreneurs do is we try to appease a lot of people. We want to make everybody happy,
Yes.
right? That's a problem that we have. We want to make everybody happy.
Yep.
So we will do a lot of things kind of poorly,
Yep.
but we will never understand how we create our value proposition in a unique way.
Yep. And
I'm going to make fun of Brunson in a second, but I'm going to let you continue.
oh, I was just going to sit there and say, and that's what's being talked about here is if you it's one of those things where if you do not recognize something that you are doing well or that is actually kind of doing a good thing for you and you just continue to jump from one thing to another, you're going to kill your business. Your business is never going to thrive. It's never going to do well. You're not going to make you're not going to make the kind of money that you dream of making. So that's what's going on with this. That is that whole thing in a nice tight little bow. Please go and make fun of Russell Brunson.
Awesome, awesome. So actually, Preston probably going to agree with me on when I come to this.
Oh,
So specifically about an established market that you're
excuse me.
breaking into. The Allen is working in a market that competes with Walmart, that competes with many artists, that competes with Costco, right?
Michaels.
So there to have a business that's sustainable, you have to have a base, right? And some of this base is technical ability. For me, it may be React, JavaScript, mobile apps, cross-platform, whatever. But for Alan, in this example, it's having the one thing that everybody needs at some point, right? The core, the solid colors. So this is kind of like science. You start off with this, and then you evolve. And I'm just kind of learning. I'm just learning from listening to Alan on this because I don't know much about the yarn business.
Yeah,
But my initial understanding is that yarn is a basis, and probably the reason he's really good at it is because he's technical and he focused on the fundamentals of the science, which is probably fundamentals of the whole business anyways. It probably evolved that way.
that's
Now
basically.
he has this, and with this he'll always have his return customers.
Oh yeah,
Customers love to have one thing. They like to be able to have their favorite store, Walmart, Costco, Allen,
Michaels,
Phil, you guys out there, right?
hmm,
Right. And you, if you can provide most of their
Hobby Lobby,
consistent Hobby Lobby, right? If you can, uh, what's the chicken place?
Chick Fil
Chick
A.
Fil A, Chick Fil A, right? If you can give consistent value that people can get most of what they need from you as a base product,
Yep,
that makes a sustainable business model a lot of the times,
yep,
right? It may not always be, but
yep,
you can have your product, and you don't want to stop there, right? Because if Alan just stopped his solid colors,
yep.
right, without business model, he can't compete with Walmart and Costco or
True.
Chick-fil-A, right? He needs to carry on to that. He has to bring in value, he has to bring in character, he has to bring in his story, right? He has to bring in innovation, and people have to kind of he has to bring in energy.
Novelty. Novelty is
Novelty.
the
Okay,
word that you're
novelty is a
looking
beautiful
for.
word. I hate novelty, but I love it.
It
Right?
yeah, it's the what Phil's trying to get at is it's like we're all constantly looking for something new. We're all constantly looking for something fun and special. That's part of the reason why when you sit down to watch something on Netflix, you can't find anything. It's because you've seen it all before. You've gone
But we
through it
also want
already.
calmness and comfort.
Yes, that is true too. We want familiarity. We want we want something familiar. So it's a battle between the two things. It's like you want novelty,
No, I'm
but you
not
also
saying that
want
Alan couldn't
familiarity.
just
So
survive
the
totally off
idea,
of,
the
creating color crazy spectrums out there, right? Some
yeah,
people do,
yeah,
but
some people do, but a lot of
by
people don't.
providing this out there, it helps give people that base to continue shopping there
Yep,
and be creative without having to search extra. If you can
yep,
do both, it's cool.
yep. Which is
So it's good to
anyway.
have that focus and a niche because if you have both a base that you
Hmm.
can provide general needs and the niche that draws your particular audience, right, to satisfies their creativity and their challenge to express themselves, you really have everything they need. Because if you don't provide the base, they also have to shop somewhere else. And if they're shopping somewhere else, they may find that guy has a niche too. And you know, great, he does everything I can do one big delivery and everything's good. This is kind of the
Hmm.
problem when you have physical products delivery. It's a little different with anything else, but it's not that different. And the world
Hmm.
is kind of really falls into those categories.